6 years ago, Josephine Wanjiko started fish farming with only 2 ponds. Now with a production capacity of over 150,000 fish and a distribution network in local supermarkets, fish farming has proved to be a lucrative venture.
I started with the conventional ponds, and I had 2 of them. Started with the tilapia. Then they were not doing very, very well. So 2 years down the line when I harvested them, I still had about 400 grams, which was very small. Could not help me in the market. And my ponds were overpopulated because with tilapia, they multiply very fast. So in the course of that, I thought of what I could control my tilapia with, and I was told about catfish. So that's when I ventured into catfish.
Thousands of upcoming fish farmers have helped show up Kenya's fish production by more than 10% in the last 5 years, clocking over 140,000 metric tons in 2012.
When we started, we were not selling fish at all completely. Like we will only sell fingerlings. So our fingerlings, the small fish, will go more. All our income was from fingerlings, I will say that, yeah. But with time, we started selling 1 kilo, 2 kilo, 3 kilos. We filleted, at least so that people don't see the ugly fish like they say it, yeah. But of course, we filleted to make it more, to add value to it. And then a small percentage, less than 1% or 1% will come from the big fish. But that has changed. Like I would say, like currently, per month, I can sell up to 50 kilos.
The government's 2009 economic stimulus program has injected some 6 billion shillings into aquaculture, which has been a major boost for the sector.
In the 2009-10 financial year, injected 1.12 billion shillings to develop 200 fish ponds per constituency in 140 constituencies. And we're also going to stock those ponds with 1,000 fingerlings per pond and also give them fish feeds for 6 months. And I think that was done in that financial year. And of course, it was being done by youths from the constituencies. And of course, based on that, we're able to employ about 280,000 youths on short-term basis.
It helped a lot because it really created a lot of awareness for fish farming. Though so many people didn't do it the right way, yeah, because some people who are in the stimulus program were doing fish in places where fish should not be done, you know, in cold places and stuff like that. But at least it created a lot of awareness. So many people failed, maybe. Some of them came back and now they're doing it on their own. Yeah, yet there are people who even did it with the government stimulus program and they really succeeded. But I'll say that it really helped a lot.
With the move from indigenous fishing zones to modernized inland fishing, farmers need to carefully consider the environment due to varying weather patterns. This will help inform the type of pond a farmer should build.
For me, I think the cages do better. the recent ponds, the ones that you build, and then you can be able to just maintain the right amount of fish in them. Because if you do the bigger one, and at times you want to do the grading, because with catfish, you have to grade them. If you keep them together and one grows bigger than the other one, they tend to eat each other. So I would really urge farmers to have the smaller ones, the ones that they can be able to maintain.
We have concrete tanks, which I wouldn't, it's expensive, but of course there is a better, simpler way of doing it, like what you saw with the first tank we went into here. It's just dugout pond, you put your liner, it's very easy, and it's way cheaper than the concrete tank. But of course this one is more, how do you call it, it's more effective in that one person can run all this place.
Despite considerable strides made in the industry, there have been several challenges that fish farmers are grappling with.
The main challenges that we have faced during the program has been mostly lack of adequate funding by government. Though the government has done a lot in the last 3 years, because they gave us the first year 1.12 billion, second year they gave us 2.86 billion.
Water is also a hitch, because with us people who are doing fish farming on areas like Yambua, you don't have lakes. You have to, and you don't have a borehole as well. You have to pay a pinch more in your pocket.
Key challenges, one, we have a problem with feed in that locally we don't have any good feed manufacturers, fish feed manufacturers. Kenya, we do a lot of poultry. There's big companies that do poultry feed, cow feed, all those other feed, but not fish feed. Yeah, because for fish feed, like catfish specifically, you need animal protein.
Traditionally, 85% of Kenya's fish production comes from Lake Victoria, which is the world's second largest freshwater lake. However, high dependency on the lake has threatened supply due to overfishing, emphasizing the need for establishment of new facilities.
I am a proud fish farmer, but I'd still like the government to help us in marketing the fish and trying to sensitize people about eating fish from the ponds. Because at the end of it all, we've overfished our lakes. We have. And if we would really encourage people to eat fish from the ponds, then we'd let the lakes even have more fish.
Fish farming in Kenya contributes about 7 billion shillings to the country's gross domestic product, but has potential to earn more from the local and export markets, where demand far outstrips supply.
Kenya has a vast potential for fish farming across the country. We have done what we call the aquaculture suitability mapping. We have maps for every constituency in the country. And based on that mapping, we identified the areas that have high potential for aquaculture, include Central Province, Western Province, parts of the Rift Valley, parts of the Coastal Province, and then parts of Eastern Province.
For entrepreneurs looking to venture into fish farming, consider this.
You have to have your own processing house, whereby you get your fish, put them in a processing house, clean them, and then they are processed and proper storage. Then from there, if you have the kebs sat, then yeah, you can get into the supermarket.